What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's that time of the year again to get your ambery, leathery, sweet, gourmand type scents. Fall's right around the corner, so let's get it on. So with fall season right around the corner, not officially here until September 22nd, but really a couple weeks from now, I thought I'd give you guys some of my top choices in the designer realm of things that I'm going to be reaching out and rocking for the most this autumn season. So let's kick things off with my 10th spot. The 10th spot is this wonderful fragrance here from the House of English Laundry. I don't hear much about this fragrance. All I can say, this is modern meets new. This one in particular has a traditional feel to it, a very aromatic fougere type feel, like an Azara pour homme, which I'm a huge fan of, meets Parfums de Marly, Wajan, or Amber Narguilé from Hermescence. That's exactly what you get with this fragrance. It's tremendously beautiful, great to wear in those dressier occasions when you really want to make a fine first impression. This is English Laundry's Windsor on the 10th spot. At the 9th spot, we have a François de Machy composition. This one here is Fundy Fendi. This one is a woody, spicy, a little bit boozy and leathery fragrance. Unbelievable, tremendously beautiful. My wife loves this fragrance. I don't know why we don't hear much about this fragrance in the fragrance community, but it's one. Look at the color of this juice. Smells fantastic. I urge you to try this if you haven't. This one does not disappoint in the fall season. At the 8th spot is another fragrance that does not disappoint in the fall season. This is a sweet tobacco, woody, spicy kind of fragrance, a little bit sweet. This one here is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme The One. This one here is the Eau de Parfum. You get about an hour and a half to 2 hours more. I got about 4 hours with the EDT. With the Eau de Parfum, I'm getting about 5 to 6 hours. So really not bad, a day's work. This is one that the ladies love. If you did like the Eau de Toilette version, but you wanted something a little stronger, go with this one at my 8th spot. At the 7th spot, here's another one that's just absolutely delicious, and I don't know why we don't hear anything about this fragrance. This is a 7th spot for a reason. This is Fahrenheit Le Parfum, released a couple years ago, I believe in 2015. This is a great boozy vanilla dry down. It has the original DNA, the signature of the original Fahrenheit, but if you thought that violet leaf petroleum vibe was a little too much and too pungent, give this one a shot. It's like taking that original Fahrenheit and modernizing it with this amazing gourmand boozy kind of feel. I believe this one has rum as well. It's an amazing fragrance, beautiful for the fall season ahead. Now, out of all these fragrances here, on the 6th spot, it's probably the most wearable one and perhaps the most youthful out of all these fragrances. This one here is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. An amazing fragrance. You take the original summer favorite Allure Homme Sport and you add the mint, the cypress, sandalwood, and tonka. Heavy tonka here, almost like a chocolatey feel. A beautiful fragrance for the fall, great, playful. It has a little sporty thing going on, but it's not really a sport flanker, I don't think. I wouldn't name this sport if I was, the creator of this. I would just name it Allure Homme Eau Extreme. It is a gorgeous fragrance, lasts really well on my skin. I believe it was released in 2012, and it is a great one. Probably the most youthful and most playful on this list. One to check out, great for compliments. Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme at number 6. At the number 5 spot here, I have a fantastic boozy tobacco vetiver scent. This here is an amazing bohemian kind of fragrance from Maison Martin Margiela. This is a fragrance that I hear absolutely nothing in a fragcom. This is Jazz Club, a fantastic composition that is deserving of praise. I can't believe people don't talk about this fragrance. Look at the color of this juice. It's boozy, it's woody, it's spicy. It's got everything. It hits you from all different angles, tobacco-y, boozy, just unbelievable. Think of a jazz club. You've got the music, it's bohemian, it's fun. It's got some mysteriousness going on here. A great, great scent. The only reason why I can probably understand that people don't talk much about this fragrance is because you can't really find this discounted. You have to go through a retailer to get this fragrance. I know you can find this at Sephora, and I urge you to try the full line of Maison Martin Margiela. The whole line is amazing. You have one that I think it's called At the Barber's. There's another one that's called By the Fireplace. These are all amazing scents, great for the fall, great for the winter. Some of these are all year-round scents. Check this house out if you haven't. At number 5, Jazz Club. At the 4th spot here, if you have a hankering for sweet stuff, if you have a sweet tooth, you like dessert-like fragrances, this is the best one on the list. This here is Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo. I put a huge dent on this fragrance last year. Arguably the best release from 2016. A fantastic dessert-like fragrance. You have that tiramisu note. It's gonna give you like a coffee caramel, almost like a caramel macchiato feel with this fragrance. Ladies go gaga with this one. I love it. It's really romantic, great for night outs. I could see this also being a great fragrance for clubbing. If you're a youngster out there, you want to try this out. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you right now, great compliment garner. The dry down is fantastic. Don't sleep on this one. Uomo from Salvatore Ferragamo at number 4. At the 3rd spot, you know, what can I say about this fragrance that hasn't already been said in the past 8 years since the inception of this fragrance in the fragrance world? This is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, of course, La Nuit de l'Homme, the original. I believe this one here is a 2011 composition. It's still a darker juice. It has been heavily reformulated, unfortunately. It's not as strong and as long-lasting as it once was. It's still great to this day. This fragrance was masterfully constructed by 3 master perfumers, Pierre Arny, and Filippo, and Dominique Ropion. This is a classic of our time, a modern classic, if you will. A great fragrance, needs no introduction. We all love La Nuit de l'Homme. At number 3, at my top fall list. Now, my number 2 spot here is one of my favorite boozy fragrances of all time. If you watch my boozy list, you know this fragrance is one of the ones that I love. This here is Pure Creation at number 2, but you can also go with Pure Malt. These are both kind of like the same thing. With Pure Creation 2013, the reason why I like this one better and I feature it at my number 2 spot is because I love the most prominent coffee note that you get here with the booziness and the dried fruit. This one here, you just get a lot of booze, not as much, I don't think you get coffee at all with this one. With Pure Malt, it's just basically straight up malt berries. They're both great though. This one here is introduced in 2009, was reformulated I think 3 or 4 times by now. It's not as great as it was before, but you do get 8 to 9 hours. It's still beastly. This one here was only introduced in 2013, was not reformulated. So both great, either Pure Malt or Pure Creation, both great for number 2 for the fall. Funny story about Pure Malt. It was originally released in 2009. Because it was a limited edition, it was quickly disappearing from the market. And by 2011, late 2011, early 2012, you saw Pure Malt going for upwards of $200 to $300 a pop. Not even a brand new bottle, used bottles, because it was so hard to get and people loved it so much. Now it's, you can find it easily at the website, on discount sites. So, it's been reformulated a couple of times. It's not as boozy as it once was, and you don't get the 12 plus beast mode that you used to get with this fragrance. But you still get 8 to 9, which is still great. But again, at number 2, if you want boozy, dried fruits, beautiful, seductive juice, go with Pure Malt. I used to rock this heavily when I used to go clubbing. I love to wear this when it's really brisk and cold out, those really brisk fall nights when I'm dressed up. I rock this fragrance amazingly, and you should too. All right, let me get a drum roll. If you follow the channel, you probably know what's coming up now as my number 1 fragrance for the fall 2017, named after the Greek god. This fragrance here is a powerhouse released in 1981 by amazing master perfumer Jacques Poge. This is an outstanding release that bears similarities with Drakkar Noir. The reason why I like this better is because it features better ingredients, and it is certainly a masterpiece, that it's manly, mossy, and a little bit animalic. Of course, I'm talking about Chanel Anthias, a phenomenal fragrance. I absolutely love this juice. I have a few bottles of this juice, and that is why it's still at my number 1 spot. When I want something a little bit rugged, a little bit, mature, I reach out for this juice in the fall a lot, especially when I'm dressed up and I want to, like I said, I want to feel that nostalgic, that classic traditional feel. Anthias does it for me at number 1 spot. I can't get enough of this juice. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 choices for fragrances designer 2017 for the fall or autumn. Please comment down below. Let me know what you guys are going to be reaching out for the most this fall season. Stay tuned for a lot more great content and great news coming your way on this channel. Till next time, keep on spraying.